Hello one and all, my name is Ryan Bruce. My friends call me Fluff, and today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we are going to check out the pretty dang compact Headrush CORE from Headrush. So earlier this year, I had the pleasure of making the video for the Headrush Prime, and in the Headrush hierarchy, the Headrush Prime is the big boy. It's the father of all of the other Headrush units. Well, now we have the Headrush CORE, which is physically different, but processing-wise and software-wise, basically the same. And we're gonna check out the CORE today. Now, before we go any further, you can consider this a sponsored video. Headrush sent me this CORE to show you guys. However, all thoughts and opinions are mine. Now, generally in the guitar processor world, when you get a smaller boiled down version of something, you're usually sacrificing quite a bit. Well, with the Headrush CORE, you're actually not sacrificing much except for some physical controls and an expression pedal. I mean, really, that's what you need to know. A couple less foot switches, of course. However, you are not sacrificing DSP processing power or any of the software bells and whistles that you get with the Prime. It's all included in the CORE. So for some quick physical comparisons between the Headrush Prime and the Headrush CORE, the Prime has 12 foot switches, the CORE has 5. The Prime also has 12 OLED displays, OLED displays, whereas the CORE does not. You will also notice the lack of the detail controls that are just to the right of the screen. That's not a big deal, as well as the expression pedal. Now, of course, there is expression pedal inputs for the I/O. However, there's just no built-in expression pedal, which honestly is not a big deal to me. Now, while the CORE does not have, for example, an auxiliary input knob on the top panel, it does still feature an 1/8" aux input on the rear, and the aux level is then controlled by you adjusting the volume in your auxiliary device, if that makes sense. So you still have the same functionality as far as the aux inputs go. Now for this video, I will not be re-diving in to a lot of the software features that I already covered on the Headrush Prime video, which I will link to down below in the description. I just don't think it's necessary to fully repeat myself for what is essentially the same software package, okay? So we're gonna primarily focus on all of the differences between the CORE and the Rush. We're also gonna hear some sound samples, and we're also gonna put this in the context of a full mix, like right now. So like the Prime, the CORE is also meant for you vocalists, and you can use and process a vocal mic and a guitar at the same time, as this has built-in auto-tune, and it has all of the bells and whistles, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, looper, practice tools like the metronome, and of course the amp cloning feature that was also on the Prime. This has it as well. All right, so I have the Headrush CORE on the desk. You will notice immediately that there is no expression pedal, and the navigation knobs on the right-hand side of the screen are no longer there for the sake of size. However, let me take you through the slightly tweaked software. Come up to the menu. I have rig, browse, set lists, hardware assign, practice tool, a tuner, a metronome, a looper, Headrush Cloud. That's where I can share and download people's rigs, presets, all sorts of stuff, amp captures, whatever you want. Firmware update, USB transfer, the lock screen, the amp cloner, the mic dry out, global EQ, and then lastly, global settings. Now, if I want to go ahead and just browse, I'm immediately met with a nice little menu. First, we have amp clones, blocks, impulse responses, loops, practice tool, rigs, set list, settings, lock screen, ping. We're just gonna go into the rigs we're gonna play around with some tones, and while we do that, I'm just gonna kind of explain what's actually going on, and we're gonna tweak some few things and you know, show you around a little bit. So I'm gonna start with the fat drive. Now, right now, I am in the 5 rig view. Now, if I want to change my current view, I can be stomp, I can show 5 rigs, I can show 3 rigs, a hybrid, or a set list view. Now, you saw what 5 rig looked like, right? So 5 rigs are 5 rigs corresponding with the foot switches. But if I hold any of these down, I can get back into that menu. And if I go 3 rigs, I now have 3 rigs and I can navigate previous bank and next bank, which is pretty nice, right? So in the middle of a gig, I can just simply bank up and I can bank down. But if I don't want to do that, I can go to the 5 rig. I like the 3 rig view. It's pretty good. I also like the stomp, right? So the stomp corresponds with the various pedals. But for the sake of showing you guys around, let's do, let's do the 3 rig. Right now, I'm on patch number 1. This is Fat Drive. That's a nice clean. Now, if I want to go into any of these, right? So I can just select it. I can turn it on. I can also double press and then edit the parameters within each part. This hasn't changed at all from the original Headrush video I did before, link down below in the description. None of this has changed, right? The overall functionality that you know for Headrush has not changed, okay? So drive. Yep, 25%, tone 50%, level. Let's go a little hotter level. Super clean. I like the grit. I like the grit a lot. Let's go to the next bank. Super lead drive. So I like this patch. Let's change an amplifier. So let's go. Let's delete that. Headrush. Let's find something a little hotter. Now it's gonna ask me, do I wanna save those changes that I made? I'm gonna say no. I do like the effects of the Headrush. The delay in particular is very, very lush. And those are some of the presets and sound samples from the Headrush CORE. And lastly, this thing is $999. You get a lot of power and a lot of processing and a lot of features for that amount of money. Now, as far as the built-in expression pedal, I have never been a fan of built-in expression pedals. I like to choose my own expression pedals just based on feel and use case. Sometimes I like the larger ones, sometimes I like the smaller ones. So for me personally, that's not a huge loss. Also, the amount of foot switches, I find 5 adequate for me personally. I'm a simple guy though, and I'm not doing a lot of things like looping, so your mileage may vary. However, at this price point, the Headrush CORE is certainly a very powerful unit that deserves your attention if you're looking for some guitar and vocal processing. I will link down below in the description for all things Headrush CORE, and with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.